Gentlemen and ladies, welcome to the probably final stage of What If Sir Shield Man was in My Hero Academia, where we left off the Zuko and Zumi, or no, not Zuko and Zumi, where we left off the Shield Man was walking with his sister. His sister had a question that he might answer to. So she asks him a question. Like, can I ask you something? Sure. What happened to all those bills that were in the, or couldn't imagine how much bills that, well, sister, you know why? I actually paid all that off. As he looks at her, says that to her. As her his sister's reaction is, what? As her jaw is dropped. You know, like that guy from One Piece where when he first saw Luffy, he says, like, let me show you. That face? Yeah. His sister had that face. Like that shocking moment. And because he said this in the secret account that I had, I used it to to put all the bills and all that stuff. I paid it all off. So if you and our parents want to go on a trip, you don't have to worry about the bills getting in your way. And his sister, was still in shock, but she ran up to her brother, and straight up hugged him. As he said, or she says this, "You're the best brother that I ever had." Because not very many people care about their families or their friends, but you just straight up go beyond, the being a best brother. As she's skipping and because she's in a happy mood. And of course, their mother was in a different house, away from her husband. As her husband was still drunk, but he got knocked some sense into, because he did or actually every single one of them, or he worked so hard to try to keep his entire family, but now is gonna fall apart when his wife told him that she will be seeing other people, and she's said her final goodbyes because, to be honest, because she thinks in his head, or in her head, of he's a piece of crud. And she should have just gone for a better man. But then, of course, she was trying to leave him. But then after, of course, his father was brokenhearted, as it was finally time to tell his kids, and that, yeah, they don't want to hear. As he calls, Shields picks up, and he says, "What's up, mother? Are you doing okay?" "No. What's wrong?" "Well," as Shields says, "Well, don't tell me. You and her broke up, right?" "Yes." "Okay." As he breathes it in, breathes it out. As, yeah, his father says, she told me that I was a piece of crud and I couldn't find a real job because of my addictions, and she didn't want to go on a cruise because of bills and all that stuff. And yeah, Shieldman is now getting really ticked off. So what did he do? Or everyone, even including Mr. Aizawa and Nezu, could tell that when he gets angry, they all had to calm him down. Like, what's going on, and why are you... Well, I just want to, go home and knock some sense into my parents. And as before his mother left, he gets home earlier. As he grabs both of them, puts them in the living room, as he starts yelling at them. Like, I know that you think my hand is a piece of crud, and on not paying the bills and all that addiction things. I understand. As he, just gave it to them straight. I paid all that bills off with that money. As he says that. As they could not believe that he was the one paid all of it off. He wanted the entire family to be happy. So that's why they were like, they could not believe that their son did everything in his power to keeping his family happy and safe and everything. Yeah. As he even says, that's why I bought those tickets for the rest of you, to go on a cruise and, yeah, on a cruise, without you guys having to worry about the bills and money issue. I solved it as he banged on his chest. As that, okay? As his mother is happy to actually, he was the one that confessed it. That he was the only person that did things right. As, yeah, his mother and his father got up and straight up hugged him. As they were so happy to have them as their son. He went beyond, hon. That's why, okay? Have some good time, okay? Because I'm also, I don't want to see, this is what he says. I don't want to see my little sister to have bad memories of you two. Weird enough, then, every time she's by herself, she always ends up having a dream of you two are always arguing about that money stuff. That's why she always sleeps with me. As he is so serious that reason why she's not telling you two is because you might end up yelling at her to butt out of the conversation. So, okay? Yeah. He brought the hammer down on him as they knew. Or they didn't realize it until, their son straight up told them. Because he's not afraid of the people, or he's not afraid of speaking what he wants to have. He's not even scared of no regrets. He, as his own mother agrees, and his own father was. Is that how she felt? Yeah, every single time she gets up, there's always in the middle of the night. Sometimes I had to wake up in the middle of the night to make sure she was still breathing. And plus, some nights we both wake up at the same time. As I basically told her that what's wrong with you? As that's why I'm the more responsible, as he says that. To his own parents. Then he's responsible of holding the family together. Usually it's a father's or mother's, but this time it's the son is trying to keep them all happy and safe. And he did a lot for them. So, yeah. As they were as their mother, if that's how your sister see us as, maybe you're right. Okay? Let's go on vacation and have some good memories. Because that's, if your sister has that as if we die, and she would probably see a negative part of it. So, okay. And, yeah. Okay. So, yeah. And he did, like, say, that wasn't a lie or anything like that. That's actually a truth. As his mother says, I know. You're her straight up honest with us. You don't see the money issue as a big deal. Or you see, like, you're trying your very hardest, just like how how we are trying to get situated, and you straight up come in and you already solved it before we even noticed. So we're sorry for that. As they start to cry in his arms, okay, because he did a lot for them. And for him to say that is a pretty big deal. Oh. His own sister was still at school learning. And she knew that, and she's like in a good mood. Soon as Ochako Honko was like, as even Momo, because the person that Shieldman's father got fired from was actually a same person that, or was one of those like 4 jobs things. And one day, Momo's father, like one day, told him, that I'm okay with you dating my daughter. As he knew that he's not into like dating. He only had to, like, he tells his boss that before I start dating, I need to figure out my family first before. Yeah. Because, not trying to be rude, it's just hey? As Momo's father, says, you're okay to date my daughter. Couple times, every time she, like, comes to my work, she sees you, and her heart starts to pound. I could tell that she is in love with you. As the Shield Man's face, that's why he's wearing a mask thing. But they could tell that he is blushing from the inside. Because he didn't know that Momo had a crush on him. And when he was only when his sister and him were only 3 years old, like they rolled into like small school, the elementary. Momo was at the same school as they were. As she ends up, every time she sees him, she blushes. She always thinks about him. That's why she has a crush on him since from or when they were 3 years old to when he works with him. And yeah, as on the side topic, as because his father, or Ochako's father, or not Ochako's, Momo's father says on the side, can I tell you something? Your father really didn't get fired. He had too much vacation time. So yeah. Huh. Really? Yeah. He was, or some of my troops or my employees, told him to drink some substance that was drugs or addiction, and yeah. So after all that stuff going on, so then Momo got home. She was ready to lay in her bed, just sleep a night away, but her parents, or her father asked, "Do you like Shield Man? Or Sir Shield Man?" And as she starts blushing, yeah, so me and him were talking when he was working with us, or with me, on the company. He didn't realize that you had a crush on him. As her face turns brightest red, like the same thing as Sir Shield Man. I'm saying Shield, like in Captain America's Shield Man. Yeah. He ends up being, yeah, you really do like him that much, because you act like the same thing to him. Really? Yeah. And we were talking about I know that he doesn't admit it, but since after I told him that you had a crush on him, he was blushing the same thing that you are. But then when I said that I know that you would probably be allowed to date him, and get married and have kids with him, as Ochako, or not, oh, I keep saying Ochako. I meant Momo, who was like, was because she loved him so much. The very first opportunity, if she had to date him, was actually appeared, and her father allows her to date him, because, yeah, as she wants him to be, yeah, as she's like so happy, she's jumping around, and yeah, he even like, so she ends up like, because she is the same thing to him. She wants to have care about family and friends. And because she's a rich girl, she can have enough money to afford stuff. But one thing that she can never afford is love. Because she got many Christmas gifts from her, or from him. And yeah. Plus, him as a mystery type, in that category, yeah, Zuko or Shieldman is the perfect type for her. And when they got back to school, let's say Momo, who was walking with her boyfriend, Shieldman, because his sister and his parents went on a trip. And yeah, they're having a good old time. And yeah, without him. And he even gave them thousands of dollars to spend it wisely on whatever you need. Yeah. Really. So yeah. That was my dog burping, by the way. Yeah. So basically, now moment was right. So there was this prom earlier, or a couple days after. So she asked him to go to prom with her, and she actually, after the prom thing, she goes to state that, how much do you like me? Me. As she looks at Shield, old man, as he is kind of red. That's why he always wears a mask underneath. Or, like, his foot. Because he had a full suit of armor. Like, full suit. Not half suit, not the, like, nothing like that. But he was wearing, like, what the Power Rangers are wearing. Hold on, give me a moment to find this thing. Here it is. This one where the suit thing. Here, hold on. This one. It wears the entire suit. Because, yeah. No. Sorry about that. Let me go back. And let's go back to Avenger. This one. So, yeah. So, basically, he has to wear that suit. But Momo could sense, or he's not, like, ugly. He's, like, beautiful. So, he, like, got underneath. But he just wants to wear the suit of armor because of, he doesn't want any, like, anyone to ask him out. But then Momo asks him anyways. Because of, like, yeah. So, it's the same kid that told his parents that he paid all the bills off. He did all that stuff. He paid for it without having to deal with any losing a house or anything. Yeah. So then, yeah. And Momo is just like, yeah. So, she ends up, wants to know who's under a mask. As Zuko, or as he says, about, let's get through this, then let's dating, because you know me now. She might like try to be very interested in, like, us having romantic things. As she says, yeah, that's true. But hey, at least after school, we won't be bothered by our classmates. Yeah. As then the whole, like, thing, and they start dating each other's. As then couple weeks have passed, or couple years have passed. It was finally for them, or his mother and his father got, and his sister got back. Yeah. And they came back with a clean house. Like, the house is completely done. And yeah, he did all the chores and all that stuff. So he says, "How was your like vacation?" As the his father was like, "That was awesome. Thanks, Shield. Yeah, that was awesome, big brother. As that was a cool experience between us three." As his mother says, "Yeah, what did you do all day? What, or all the time that we, well, Momo's is like father talked to me, and he didn't really fire you, mother. You had too much, like, summertime, like, time. And so you could have just spent it with all of us. And he also said that you weren't fired, it's just because of that. Not because of drinking, because one of his other employees has drugged you up and made you misheard things. So he was actually fired. As his father didn't realize is that it was actually he had too much summertime to spend with his family. So, yeah. And in order to take your place, I did 4 jobs for you, actually. Really? That's why you have infinite money. Because you had 4 jobs. Yeah, and Momo's father, he actually says the name, told me that he's allows me to date his daughter. As they start laughing, and like, they thought he was joking, but then turns out it was like real. As it was finally, so when he got back to work, his father went back to work. His father, or Momo's dad, says, he told you about that he allowing my daughter to date your son, right? Yeah, I thought that was a joke. Nope, it was real. And they're like, what? He had that face. Yeah. As they could not believe, or he couldn't believe that Momo chose him from a very young age. Yeah. So then Momo and him were dating, or Shield was dating Momo, and yeah. It was as his father tells his mother, or no, his father told his wife that he was serious about that. As his mother and his father was like, holy crud, him dating a rich girl and her father knows about that, it's like, okay, as she's freaking out. Because he's already a rich kid, he just, or his, he, okay? So basically, yeah, it was scary. So then they got, like, after dating for, like, couple weeks, or, like, yeah, they ended up getting married. And Momo in a wedding dress is, it's just like, it's weird. This one, as Momo is Ling, yeah, got married to Shield and had 6 kids. Yeah. So then his sister actually got married to Todoroki. Because Todoroki, like, or never wanted, like, in this alternate timeline, he wanted to be, has 2 goals. One is to get to becoming the #1 hero, and second goal is for Todoroki to get a wife and have kids things. So, yeah. Yeah. It's just the weird stuff. And then a newer generation came out. Yeah, having 8 kids from, like, both, or no, 10 kids from 2 parents, or no, 2 families that just got started. Yeah. It was weird. So then the aim, he visits with his family as his mother and father are happy. And yeah. Because they are happy for a long time. They spend time together, they make memories, and yeah, all that stuff. As heck, Zuko got married to Ochako, and Toga in this What If. As Toga wants Zuko and Ochako to get married to her. And yeah. And then yeah, it's all that stuff. And now, please leave a like, share, subscribe, comment, and do everything in your, like, whatever YouTube allows you to do on these videos. So,